Hi guys, this is Becky and I am going to do a little video on sweeping floors. Obviously we sweep floors because we want to keep our floors clean. But learning how to sweep floors is a good skill to have for any job. If you work in a restaurant, sometimes you'll be asked to sweep a floor. If you worked in a hotel, you might be asked to sweep a floor. Sometimes a doctor's office, a dentist's office. Every floor I know needs to be swept. And I know that it seems like sweeping is pretty common sense and a normal task, but it really helps with our students to be able to explain to them exactly the best way to sweep and most efficient way to sweep. Now, I hope that I can do this video properly because I'm going to have to aim this to the floor and show you while I'll explain to you. The very first step is drag the head of the broom along the ground using short, deliberate strokes. The shorter the strokes, the more control you'll have. The idea is to get all of the debris or all of the trash or the yucky stuff on the floor into one central place and not just whisk it around aimlessly. You've got to make sure you don't sweep too fast or too forcefully, because if you do, then you'll send up dust clouds everywhere and you're just going to end up with more dirt in the place that you just swept. The next thing is to start at the edges of the room and work your way towards the center. It's a good idea to go from the far side of the room towards the door or the entrance. That way you're not forced to track back through the room and get dirt everywhere. If you've got a really big room, you want to divide it up into smaller sections. You need to pause periodically to clean your broom. You make sure you wash your hands after handling anything that's been on the floor. You want to sweep the pile that you've formed into a dustpan for disposal. Once you've got around the edges of the room, you want to go into a pile and then get it ready for your dustpan. You need to use what's called the drawbridge technique to deal with annoying dustpan lines. Basically, I will have to show you this. You have to make sure that the dustpan is level and down against the ground, and then you sweep into it, and then you change directions to the other direction so that you make sure you don't just leave a line of dirt. Now, I'm going to try to do this, and I'm going to aim my camera to the floor. Boom. And I'm going to, you get to see my cute slippers probably. I'm gonna pour, this is actually black rice, onto the floor and demonstrate how I would sweep it. Okay, it says to start, in short, deliberate strokes. So I'm going to the very edge of the dirt, very edge of my mess that I've made, and I'm moving the edges in with my short, deliberate strokes, starting at the edges and moving toward the center. And it says to pause and to clean your broom out. I do have some dust in my broom, so I could pull that off and make it so that I don't have to worry about that. Then once I get into my pile, I have to get my dustpan. So I get my dustpan. Looks like I missed a piece, oops. And I'm going to get it near my pile, and I'm going to sweep all the way to the back of the pan. And then with the drawbridge technique, I'm going the opposite direction so that I can get that line. Now I've only got a few left, and I'm gonna go back, try to get those little bits, sweep them in. Hopefully you could see that. And ta-da, I have swept the floor. Obviously, you take this dustpan and you empty all the junk that you swept up off the floor into a trash can.